Dr. Sean Art. I'm the director of the Rutgers Center for Health and Human Performance. I'd like to introduce you to our facility. So we have different training capabilities in here. So we have obviously all of our free weights and our power training and our strength training, but we also have a variety of machines and different functional units as well that we can use to do a variety of different movements that we can make specific to sport, that we can try to train these athletes and these individuals to be as healthy, as strong, and as fit as possible. As part of some of the work that we do with reaction time, this is called a tracer system. And so what it is it's movement analysis. And so rather than just looking at, for example, hand movement for reaction time, we can do whole body movement time types of analyses. And so what we would do is there's actually a virtual reality screen that comes on here, and the person can actually see themselves projected on that screen, and then they have to move within a 7x7 grid to actually hit different targets, so we can actually look at it from a movement standpoint. This is our cognitive testing room. We actually have a reaction time board, the D2 by Dynavision. We can do different reaction time tasks on here, from simple reaction time, kind of go, no-go in terms of choices, and we can even do things with cognitive overload where they actually have to solve math problems or read words aloud while they're trying to do the reaction. And we have that full spectrum of the vision field, so we can actually do a much broader range of testing rather than just simply a single button. This is where we actually do most of our performance and health testing. So over here, we have a high-speed treadmill and a metabolic cart. This treadmill is really cool. It actually goes up to 25 miles an hour, but it also does a 25% incline or decline if we want to do some overspeed testing. We have a second metabolic cart that we use over here as well, that we also use for some endurance testing on the bike, but we can also do power testing on this where we run our Wingate tests, which otherwise known as 30 seconds of hell. We have a pretty extensive capability for body composition analysis. We have a bod pod, we have an in-body 770, and we also have an ultrasound that we use to measure muscle thickness, fat density, and things like that. So those are our capabilities in here. What we draw in here and what we do in here, we then take upstairs to our wet lab in order to do our analyses. So once we draw the samples downstairs, we can bring everything up here for processing, whether we're going to send it out or whether we're going to analyze it here. And there's also a number of other researchers that are a part of what goes on in here as well. We have a huge digestive health center where they look at the gut microbiome. And then there's a lot of lipid research that goes on as well. So what I'll do is I'll just give you a little tour of the whole lab and show you what some of the cool stuff is that we have. So what we can do is we have different analysis systems where we can do everything from muscle fiber work all the way down to serum and plasma and things like that. So it gives us the ability to look at inflammatory markers, at endocrine markers, at different biochemical markers, and we've got everything we need right here. And then again, working with other facilities like Quest Diagnostics allows us to really expand the reach and capabilities of our own facilities and get a pretty quick turnaround on some of the things that we do as well. Come this way and I'll show you one of the cooler systems that we actually have in the lab. What it is this really cool system that actually mimics the human digestive tract. So what happens is they can actually come in, it's one of 2 in the US, and what they do is they can put anything that we want in at the level of the mouth and track it all the way through the colon. And they can sample all along the way to see what the different processing is, the rates of absorption, and what some of the byproducts are. So from a food science standpoint and things like that, they can actually track different nutrients, different supplements, and what they do all along the way of the digestive process. Why is research important to human health and performance? Because without it, you're just guessing. Little by little, we start to understand things a little bit more. Every once in a while, you have that study comes out that basically makes you sit up and take notice, and you go, ooh, there's more here than we thought, or, well, that wasn't what I expected. And I think that's one of the best parts about research. I've always looked at it from the standpoint of one of the reasons I got into this is I always wanted to be one of the people developing the knowledge, not just the ones using everybody else's knowledge. Having some bigger picture stuff to go off of, I think really drives how we should be thinking about this so that we're not just using guesswork in order to do it. And I think the more evidence we have, the better it is to move forward or to realize what is and is not working in order to substantiate some of the most important parts about what we do.